RFK Jr. has selected his vice presidential running mate. Nicole Shanahan is her name.
Of course.
I can't believe he picked her. Now we're all Biden, Trump, they're all shaking in their boots. It's over. Call it now. We don't need to wait till November.
I will say that Trump is probably envious of her because seemingly the number one criteria for her selection was the fact that she could fund the campaign. She is the ex-wife of a Google executive.
Sergey Brin, yeah.
She's got a ton of cash, and Trump needs a lot of cash, by the way, because of all of the legal fees and the over $400 million fraud judgment that he's dealing with. That's why he met with Elon Musk recently, I would imagine, down at Mar-a-Lago, was just so, hey, you wanna give me some money, some cool cash? It helps. It helps to have a rich person in your orbit. And for Bobby Kennedy Jr., it certainly helps here. So this is her speech as the new running mate, and let's see, I don't know, maybe we'll be inspired.
It wasn't until I met Bobby and the people supporting him that I felt any hope in the outcome of this election. As I've re-examined my Democratic Party assumptions, I have seen conservative voters with new eyes too. I have met farmers, I have met hunters who are some of the most staunch conservationists I have ever met, who understand ecosystems better than most. I have met mothers protecting their children who are searching every possible avenue for their health. And yet the Republican Party, like the Democratic, is letting them down because the actions of the party are diverting from the values that actually support individual freedom.
Individual freedom.
In fact, the very failure of both parties to do their job to protect their founding values has contributed to the decline of this country in my lifetime. Maybe that's why I see so many Republicans disillusioned with their party as I become disillusioned with mine. If you are one of those disillusioned Republicans, I welcome you to join me, a disillusioned Democrat.
It's just why I left the left.
Can I just say, like, the idea of cheering being disillusioned.
Yeah.
I'm disillusioned. Yeah.
Also, there's really not that many disillusioned Republicans.
They're really not.
And if they are, they're like Bill Kristol. Like they're not going to RFK.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I do appreciate her openly saying just how out of touch she is as a very wealthy person, that apparently she was unaware that farmers and hunters take part in conservation efforts for the environment. And apparently she met mothers for the first time. I don't know. That was very bizarre.
But they better have not used IVF, Matt Binder. They better have not used IVF, because she is, the thing about her is she's clearly just, when she mentions farmers and things, she's just anti-modernity, right? Like anti-modern medicine, anti-modernity. Just scroll down to her, it's like the second or third paragraph here. RFK Jr.'s vice president, she'll pick, she's an in vitro fertilization critic. Robert F. Kennedy's running mate has been a harsh critic of in vitro fertilization while funding alternative research on extending women's reproductive years. Nicole Shanahan has for years denounced IVF, calling it, quote, one of the biggest lies that's being told about women's health today. Keep going, scroll down. At the same time, she's also been a vocal proponent and financial backer of for unconventional research into the possibility of helping women have children into their 50s and exploring no-cost interventions to help women conceive, such as exposure to sunlight. This is the money paragraph here that I wanted to read, if we could just put this back up. I'm not sure that there has been a really thorough mitochondrial respiration study on the effects of 2 hours of morning sunlight on reproductive health. I would love to fund something like that, Shanahan said to a 2023 panel with the National Academy of Medicine, a group to which she had previously donated $100 million.
Wait, hold on. This actually changes everything. Miss Shanahan, if you're watching this, I have a great idea. I would like to conduct a study on how much 2 hours of sunlight will help in that regard. I only need $90 million. I'd be happy to.
Yeah, you'll do it at a discount. Benji will do
I'll take half the 10%, 10 million. Give it to me. I'll be happy to do it.
Emma,
I'll get a couple women together. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Emma, just read the next two sentences here, and Matt, just put this up one more time, just because.
The statement was met with chuckles. Yes, let's do it, she added. I just have an intuition that could be interesting and maybe work. Wow,
Yeah, I think so too. I just need the money to fund it. Please.
I know. I agree with your intuition. I agree. I mean, my Venmo is.
Hey, National Academy of Medicine, nice $100 million I just gave you. Would be a real shame if you didn't fund my sunlight study.
also
That I think is cool and interesting.
Just based on like what we're finding out about her, I feel like the disillusionment that she's feeling within the Democratic Party is that they're not just so completely bought off and paid for by Silicon Valley anymore. I mean, they still are to an extent, but not as much.
Sure.
Because I mean, what made this woman a Democrat? She doesn't sound like a Democrat to me, really. I mean,
Well,
To say that she said elsewhere in the speech that RFK is an anti-war candidate, and I gotta say, fuck that. And anybody who thinks that is a moron.
he is somehow to the right of Joe Biden on Israel.
He is a genocide supporter. Like he has all the people who like I follow that are like into the JFK assassination research have jumped ship because he is a unrepentant Zionist. He is friends with Rabbi Shmuley. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's who this guy is.
Right. And so when she says these kinds of things, and she says she's not an anti-vaxxer, she just has questions about blah, 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 because it should give these anti-vaxxers some skepticism that all of their most public advocates refuse to say they're anti-vaxxers, but then list all the reasons that they are, because they just know it's not necessarily politically feasible. But if it's such a big problem, have the courage to say it. But she's also against modern medicine, aka IVF. There is a needle involved in IVF, and so so much of this ranges from people being just literally little babies that are terrified of needles to this just larger skepticism about any modern medicine having positive effects. So instead of, if you have reproductive issues, it's probably on you and you should just get out in the sun more, versus you may have actual health reproductive challenges that can be that modern medicine can help you. There's nothing wrong with you if you go down that avenue. And it's such a hot button issue with the Alabama Supreme Court decision that I don't know. I feel like this should be a bigger story if anybody's considering RFK Jr.
But yeah, it would be the thing to underline about Nicole Shanahan is what you said about infantile. This is an infantile rich person, galloping around with a lot of money. She is the Global Joy Officer and board member at the Sloomoo Institute. Let's run this to get a familiarity with what the Sloomoo Institute is. A little bit ahead, maybe. So it's play with slime, and you'll notice the founders stress that it's for adults too, even though that, as Sam said, Sam has been there, really it should be for kids. But they charge kids and adults the exact same amount. But yeah,
this is the least problematic thing about.
Yeah, I think it's the least problematic thing about.
I think it's. Right. I think that. I do think it's trivia though, and like how she's been spending her time. And if you look at what else she's been in the news for, which is Wall Street Journal said that she had an affair, and this has been denied by both Elon Musk and Nicole Shanahan. But yeah, apparently the Wall Street Journal had a piece that said that their separation with Bryn was in part sparked by an affair with Elon Musk, which she said, actually, I was just asking him for advice for my kid's autism because of his expertise on Neuralink, which in my opinion is like, it's actually worse that way than if you would have had an affair with him.
It's so much worse. And also, like, somehow worse than a random person having an affair with that guy who is so creepy. Elon just makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up. But the fact that she's independently wealthy too and doesn't have that much to gain from it means she just wanted to bang, allegedly.
Yeah,
I literally remember this story about Sergey Brin's ex-wife with Elon. I thought it, but I didn't realize it was
a
him.
different ex-wife.
I didn't realize he was either her, who was the other Google founder's wife. But apparently, from this Wall Street Journal story from a little while ago, the thing that always stood out to me is that there was this report that Elon got on his hands and knees at an event to Sergey Brin to apologize for allegedly sleeping with Nicole Shanahan. So I don't know if that's actually been borne out by anything or if there's any like corroboration, but that was like one of the kind of, minor details that has stuck with me that I did not actually put together that this is now RFK's running mate.
Big tech, folks.
RFK Jr.'s like, she did what? I just make her my VP. Think I got a chance?
I mean, maybe the people are recirculating RFK Jr.'s sex diary, so I guess they have a shared ideology of past escapades.
I'm going to skip that one. Thank you.
Yep. I wish I didn't hear about any of this. All right, let's take.
Try to do an impression.
What a
No,
terrible
we're not.
pick, honestly. What a terrible pick, honestly. To be serious, he had an opening here. He really did have an opening here, not to win, but to actually be like a force in the election and possibly pick a significant number of people off from Trump's side and Biden's side. But I think this VP pick will actually turn people who were considering him off.
Oh, definitely.
Because she's not going to be edgy enough for the people who liked him for that reason.
Yeah.
And the people who just wanted a Kennedy, they're going to look into her, and she's not going to have that Kennedy sheen on her. But they're going to see those odious views that obviously RFK also has. But again, she's not a Kennedy. And so they'll be turned off.
Right.
Yeah. The ones that aren't saying like she's a World Economic Forum aligned, plant are saying the way to cope, the way they're coping now is that this is the Democrats' worst nightmare. It's one of them. It's like, first of all, that was supposed to be RFK's.
Also supposed to be Tulsi's thing.
Right. Exactly. Like you can't,
no one knew who she was. You can't say like, the powers that she used to be a Democrat when no one has anything in like their cultural memory of her being in
the famous
public life.
Democrat Sergey Brin's ex-wife that does slime in Manhattan.
This is from the Wall Street Journal piece about Musk and Brin. The liaison with Mr. Musk took place in early December 2021 at the Art Basel event in Miami.
Why are you giving more info?
Those people said Art Basel is a multi-day annual festival that draws wealthy attendees from around the world. At a party earlier this year, Mr. Musk dropped to one knee in front of Mr. Brin and apologized profusely for the transgression, begging for forgiveness, according to people with knowledge of the incident. Mr. Brin acknowledged the apology, but still isn't speaking regularly to Mr. Musk, those people said.
I remember.
Take my sword. I have humiliated myself. It's so weird.
I need to go sexually harass a flight
I remember
attendant.
Musk posted a photo that he claimed was with Brin at a party to show that they weren't feuding over this, and the photo was like a selfie Musk took of him like walking by Sergey Brin without him paying any attention to Musk.
It's like Sergey is laughing with me off camera.
Right.
We're both having a good time at the party.
Oh, I have it actually.
Oh my God. I don't want. I already get so creeped out by like Elon
you found
Musk's
the photo?
Yeah.
natalism and his weird just like fixation on his own DNA. Oh, here we go. This is it. Oh, everyone's having a great time. These
are two pals hanging out.
Me with my friend Sergey, as there's literally another person in between us.
Yeah.
Sergey can literally be saying at this point, like, Elon, like, please get away from me. Like, don't take this photo.
And what is the response that Elon has here?
Probably,
blank, your pants are on fire? Liar.
Yeah,
So it's to a news story about saying their friendship is bad, and he's saying, actually, look at how great our friendship is. This is literally like the Nathan Fielder.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's like, we're smiling over here.
If you included other people involuntarily in the photo.
Check us out having a great time. Sergey is also smiling in another photo.
That's just how he smiles. I mean, hands up.
I'm
trying
Rick,
to get as far
bitch.
away from me as possible, hiding behind another individual. It's just how.
Sir getting on great terms. I went up to him and shouted, "I'm Rick, bitch," as I took a selfie. So our friendship is as good as it's ever been.
Boo. Gosh.
Kimball Musk and Jeffrey Epstein. Anyway, what's the next story?
I think with that, before the internet shuts us down for speaking too much truth,
It really has been a lot of.
we're gonna.
It's been really over the target in the fun half, and
Yeah.
I think that's some potential.
All right, let's take.
I forgot just how good that photo was. I mentioned it, vaguely
Really
remembering it. It wasn't ready for the actual photo. My God.